From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, October the 3rd, 2023. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu today responded to comments and threats made by Iranian Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei regarding Israel's expanding normalization agreements with Muslim countries. The most recent effort being with Saudi Arabia. Iranian state media reported today that Khamenei, in an address to government officials and ambassadors from Muslim nations, said they are betting on a losing horse by establishing ties with Israel, saying the definitive stance of the Islamic Republic is that the governments which prioritize the gamble of normalization with the Zionist regime will incur losses. Netanyahu released a video message from his vacation in northern Israel today in response, saying that while Khomeini's terrorist regime exports ruin and destruction, Israel is advancing progress and peace. Just as Iran did not prevent us from achieving the Abraham Accords, neither will it prevent us from further expanding the circle of peace for the benefit of the citizens of Israel, the peoples of the region, and all humanity. Meanwhile, Israel's Minister of Communications, Shlomo Karhi, is in Saudi Arabia, leading an Israeli delegation to the Universal Postal Union's 2023 Extraordinary Congress, taking place in Riyadh this week. Upon landing in the kingdom, Karhi, joined by Knesset Economy Committee Chairman David Bitan, said of the visit, "We'll meet with representatives from around the world and will bring the peace between the State of Israel and Saudi Arabia closer." Bitan adding, "Everything starts with small steps. So this is the beginning, and we'll see in the future how things develop for the benefit of the State of Israel and peace in the Middle East." This morning, Karhi took part in a prayer service in his Riyadh hotel for the Jewish holiday of Sukkot. He is now the second Israeli minister to visit the kingdom, after Tourism Minister Chaim Katz became the first Israeli minister to do so just last week. Several ultra-Orthodox Jews, including children, were caught on video yesterday spitting on the ground as Christian worshippers passed by them carrying a wooden cross. This is not the first time Christians have been harassed by ultra-Orthodox Jews in the Old City, and the incident was widely and strongly condemned by Israel's religious leaders and political leaders, who called what happened despicable, saying these acts do not represent the values of Judaism. Prime Minister Netanyahu said derogatory conduct toward worshippers is sacrilege and is simply unacceptable. Any form of hostility towards individuals engaged in worship will not be tolerated, saying Israel is totally committed to safeguard the sacred right of worship and pilgrimage to the holy sites of all faiths. Saying, "I strongly condemn any attempt to intimidate worshippers, and I am committed to making immediate and decisive action against it." U.S. Special Envoy to Monitor and Combat Anti-Semitism, Ambassador Deborah Lipstadt, released a special report on efforts against the phenomenon last week, part of President Joe Biden's national strategy to combat anti-Semitism, which was released this past May. Lipstadt saying, "I am pleased to share a report created by my office documenting overseas programs, policies, and actions that counter anti-Semitism." The report includes an index of over 40 of such efforts around the globe. The Biden administration also released the Allied Against Hate Toolkit for faith communities as part of the effort to implement the national strategy. The American Jewish Committee welcomed the toolkit yesterday, CEO Ted Deutsch saying hate does not exist in a vacuum, and interfaith partnerships to combat anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, and all forms of bigotry help us to create safer, more inclusive communities. Deutsch said working with all faith communities is vital to the success of the national strategy, and this new toolkit from the Biden administration will be a key tool in this work. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Tuesday, October the 3rd. At 7 o'clock, it's the short film Perfetto for Sukkot. At 7:15 for Sukkot, CJA chefs Danny and Zoey make fruits of the field quiche. At 8, Yossi Klein Halevi, Daniel Gordis, and Matti Friedman talk about world Jewry's role in the struggle over the fundamental identity of Israel as a Jewish and democratic state. At 9, Andrew Kligerman is on L'chaim. At 10, the late Rabbi Jonathan Sacks speaks about Sukkot. And coming up next, it's the ILTV's Insider. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, October the 3rd, 2023. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well.